Good morning from Broadwood, the host of the venue of Group A4 of Round 1 qualifying for the 2024-25 UEFA Women's Under-17s European Championships. Kick-starting the action in Group A4 this morning, Scotland against Iceland, with full live coverage to come right here. Joining me, Amy Canavan, in commentary is former Scotland international Joelle Murray, and we'll hear from Joelle shortly. But first, just as the teams take to the tunnel, we will run you through the lineups, starting with Scotland led by Michael McArdle-Gault in goal, a back four of Husband, Fraser, Dawson and Byrne, Boyce and McGoldrick in midfield, with Black slightly further forward, McDonald and English out wide, with Sharkey leading the line. For Iceland, Arnardóttir is in goal. It's a back four of Palmadóttir, Óskarsdóttir, Barbosa and Ingadóttir. In the midfield, Bjornsdóttir, Sigurðardóttir and Kristjansdóttir, making it up with Arnarsdóttir, Jóhannesdóttir and Palmadóttir, the front three in attack. Þórður Þórðarson is the coach of Iceland.
Two teams for this morning, Iceland and Scotland.
And eventually here do both sides making their way out onto the pitch, and now we will have both nations' national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be outstanding for our national anthems. First off, the national anthem of Iceland, followed by the national anthem of Scotland.
players now shaking hands at a rather blustery Broadwood Stadium, and I'm delighted to say that joining me in the wind here is former Scotland international Joelle Murray. Joelle, this is a wee mini tournament that decides promotion and relegation between the leagues for round 2 in the spring. All eyes on next summer's Under-17s European Championships in the Faroe Islands. Just how important is it for Scotland to get off to a positive start?
Straight away, Amy, and lets the opposition know what they're in for when they come up against a Scottish team. So yeah, I think it's massively important to start strong, get on the front foot nice and early, and get goals up.
A Scottish team who, when you look through the ranks now, there's a much more experience than this time last year, even more so than the sort of experience that we saw back in March for round 2 of the previous round of qualifying, and that's crucial for us, isn't it? This is a group now who are much more familiar with that, they are that 1 year old, but much more 16-year-olds in this side who have that time together on the pitch, that time together with Mike and Cargill as well, and they are much more familiar with football, aren't they? Scotland playing at one point to what that is or tactical and chess was each and was or funny or nice program and so that we probably so much more Group A4 is underway. Later on today, 2 other participants in the group, Poland and Northern Ireland, will do battle here at 3:30. Great start early on for Scotland. Ball works its way into the box. English's shot blocked. Dawson out here to Byrne, who's already looked lively in the opening 30 seconds or so. I think the earliest observation, Joelle, is as bright as Scotland have started, it's a very tall Iceland side they're facing, aren't they?
It is indeed, and I think typically that's something, or a characteristic that you can almost appreciate will always be the case at various levels across these Icelandic teams, and I think especially from set pieces, from balls into the box from open play, I think it will be massively important for Fraser and Dawson in that centre back position to deal with those aerial balls and those kind of tall forwards in the opposition team.
Dawson there, whose misplaced pass was intercepted by Palmadottir, but nothing came of it, and it will be a Breland goal kick. Fraser into Husband on the turn. Sharkey tracks that one down the line, but it will be an Iceland throw on the far side. Fraser handles that well. Back to goal. the daughter. Tracked by May English. You hear the cries from Michael McCardle and his staff asking Scotland to press early on. And the daughter does fire that one straight out, and exactly the press that Michael McCardle was calling for there, Joelle.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hear Michael on the touchline shouting those triggers, but I think Amy Sharkey read it well herself. You can see May English using a pace very early to get as close as possible, commit the press, and then the trigger comes, then Amy Sharkey jumps onto the centre back, and then everyone in behind does so accordingly, and the result being a throw in deep into the defensive third from an Icelandic perspective.
Byrne with the throw. Nice and clear on the head of Johannes Daughter. Byrne picks up once more, McGoldrick. Fraser sprays the husband. Dawson just losing out there a little bit. Too much time on the ball, perhaps. She thought she had too much time on the ball, perhaps.
Yeah, just a little bit of hesitation there, I think, Amy. You can hear the shouts from her teammates to release the ball quicker, and I'm sure she'll learn from that, and the next time she finds herself in that situation, no doubt she will release it a bit quicker and get the ball forward.
That's loose again from Arna Daughter, and lands a little bit lucky that Scotland couldn't quite get it out their feet. Perhaps just falling a little bit too early too. Neve McDonald surprised a little, but Scotland do have the throw out on the far side. Jess Husband. Sharkey shows once more. Wins another throw. Byrne will contest. Just losing out, but May English will carry this attack forward for Scotland. Driving down to the byline now. Can she get her ball across? She wins a corner. Very bright start down this near left hand side for Scotland. First corner of the match. Will be Jess Husband to take. Asking her side to make some moves right deep to the back post. Can it be flicked across? It does come to Sharkey. You can see the hands on her head there, Joelle. I think she thinks she should have been hitting the target.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's no doubt about it. She will be disappointed. She's got a fantastic eye for goal, and 9 times out of 10 Amy finds the target at least. But I think positives to take from that, you can see there's a thought process in those set pieces, an appreciation for the aerial capabilities of Iceland. Set up a mix of zonal marking, but the corner delivered deep to the back area, and then in second phase fired back across the box. So yeah, I think Amy Sharkey will be disappointed, but positives to take from that setup.
Very bright start for Scotland. Amy Sharkey once more in on the act. Niamh MacDonald in there as well. Calls from Iceland for a handball. It's not forthcoming, and it's Niamh MacDonald off the crossbar, but May English is at the back post, and Scotland do have their deserved opener here at Broadwood against Iceland. A classic case there, Joelle, of just playing to the whistle, wasn't it?
Absolutely, because I think there was a slight handball in there, whether it's a case of body, arms, natural, but fantastic, going to the whistle. May English, you're always looking for the opposite wide player to come in at the back post and tuck in, and she was there pouncing on that ball that crashed off the crossbar.
7 minutes in, and that is exactly the kind of start Michael McArdle and his staff and his players will have wanted. No replays up here, but as Joelle does say, certainly from our vantage point, it did seem there was a little bit of arm action in there, but no VAR today. Byrne once more down this near right. Scotland's opening goal scorer. May English on the ball. Dispossessed there by Palmadottar. Oh, the Byrne having a wee word. Can you figure out what's wrong down there, Joelle? There's something not right.
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if it's blood.
Well, it certainly seems that way now, yeah.
Amy. So yeah, she'll definitely be asked to step off the pitch to get that cleaned up, and if there's anything on the strip, it will certainly be a swap of strip as well.
She really doesn't want to go off here, does she? She's getting told by the referee to just step off the pitch. Yeah, it certainly seems to be a wee bloody nose down there.
And you can hear our teammates telling her to stay on the pitch, very intelligent players, because obviously if she stays on the pitch then the treatment comes on the pitch. But Scotland playing with a player down at the moment, so they will need to adapt and make sure they stay compact until they can get Orla Byrne back on the pitch.
Niamh MacDonald showing her pace. Sharkey with her back to goal the whole way. It will be a goal kick for Arnardóttir. Orla Byrne still receiving some treatment here. Or just cleaning her hands, to be quite honest with you. Getting that blood off. Losing play out from the back. Palmadottar. Intercepted. Lily Boyce. Sophie Black now on the ball. Back to Kate Fraser. Looks for the run of Husband. Does manage to find her. What can Jess Husband do? Works her way to the byline. Still has it in her possession. Looking for some support. Tries to get the ball across and wins a corner. Fantastic work there from Husband on that far side, Joelle.
Yeah, really great work from Jess Husband. Scotland are utilising both full-backs and both wide midfielders very, very well, stretching the pitch, making it as big as possible and using the pace that they have in abundance, and it really is creating a lot of problems for Iceland in these early stages.
Burns back on, Husband will take the corner on the far side. You see May English making a late run. Certainly some crafty corner being conjured up here. Let's see what happens. Husband to take. Right into the mixer. Fraser was the target. Comes back to English. And a resounding shot from Niamh MacDonald safely into the arms of Arnardóttir. I think they've been working on their set pieces though, Joelle.
Yeah, I think so, and I think set pieces in the modern game are so crucial, and I think you can see they're deliberately avoiding that central, that mid area where aerially Iceland are very good, and looking to drop it into the back post for a first contact directly on goal or across the six that we saw moments ago, that fell to Amy Sharkey.
"13 minutes played, Scotland lead 1-0 through May English's goal 7 minutes in." Scotland in Group A4 here with Iceland, Poland, Northern Ireland, looking to consolidate their League A spot by finishing in the first 3 places. And the positions dictate the seeding for round 2 later on in the season, next calendar year into the spring. As I mentioned earlier, all eyes on next summer's finals in the Faroe Islands. Scotland haven't reached the Under-17s European Championship since 2013. Came close a few times under Polly McDonald, Michael McArdle's predecessor. Sharkey leading the press once more. Iceland being brave, playing out from the back. Daughter works her way out of that little pickle. That one's not quite so good from Daughter though. And it is picked up by Niamh MacDonald. Can she find Amy Sharkey? She can't quite. But again, it's brave goalkeeping from Daughter, the 15-year-old. She is continually playing out from the back, Joelle, despite that the very high press and so far pretty successful press from Scotland.
Yeah, and I don't mind that, Amy. I think especially at this age, it's crucial to bed in that bravery. You're not always going to be successful. It's making sure that the next action is better than the last. And I think if you do get that build right and beat the press, then the pitch opens up. So I don't mind that at all from Iceland, and I like to see it.
Incidentally, Scotland have won another throw-in on that far side. Jess Husband just receiving some instructions from Michael McArdle. Fraser fires that one back, and Sharkey shows. Moves it out to McDonald. Lily Boyce not seen too much of her in the opening stages just yet. Back to Galton. Scotland recycle. Dawson down to Byrne, hugging the touchline once more. Daughter. Shepherd's that one out for another Scotland throw. Just a wee offside there for Scotland. Give Iceland some breathing time. Mentioned Polly McDonald there. Joelle, Michael McArdle, long been brought in a couple of years ago now, girls and women's programme performance manager, that strategic development that you hear spoken about so often throughout the SWNT setup, throughout the age developments. Reaching Under-17s national, a European finals, sorry, a major tournament, that would be the first step once again on getting this pathway in the right place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would indeed, and I think Michael's been fantastic since coming into the role. He's very passionate about the girls and women's game and wants to drive it forward. in every entity. I know myself, I've had a lot of support from him. He's just an all-round really good guy who, as and when possible, is always happy to help out. So yeah, I'd be delighted for him and his additional backroom staff if they can first and foremost get out of this group, but ultimately reach the end goal, which is that finals in the Faroe Islands.
18 minutes played, Scotland leading here 1-0 with a free kick in a decent position. Jess Husband opts to go short. Sienna McColdrick, Sophie Black, apologies, just nods that one, and it doesn't quite come off for Scotland this time. Can Iceland capitalise? Jess Husband still doing her defensive duties in this one. A little bit messy, but Scotland just about getting enough composure if Kate Fraser can handle this. Not like her there. Now works his way through to Breland Galt in goal.
Yeah, a little bit messy, like you said, Amy. I think in those defensive transitional moments, we need to ensure we've got the cover and support at the back end of the pitch before we look at going forward. So yeah, a little bit messy, but like you said, we managed to get out of the situation, relieve the ball, and get back on the front foot.
Husband under a little bit of pressure there from Arna's daughter. Comes out of it on top, and Fraser now into Boyce. Byrne pounced on there by Palma daughter. Good work from Coldrick to lend a hand, and Black now on the spin, just can't quite keep that one tight. And stops that nature of this game. Continues, just 20 odd minutes played. Scotland 1, Iceland 0. Group A4, round 1 of qualifying. And that's the latest cry there. Joelle, be patient, from Michael McArdle.
Yeah, I think in that last situation we're trying to force the ball forward into congested areas instead of being patient, like Michael said, and kind of play with a progressive possession-based style. We don't always need to play that forward pass. Of course, it's nice to do so, but if it's not on, can we retain the ball and then change the point of the attack by coming into the 6 and then coming out the other side.
Hooked across there by Arna's daughter, but it was always out. Coldrick under a little bit of pressure from Thorson. Sharkey being tightly marshalled, breaks away. Sophie Black now has a rare opportunity to run into McDonald, and Liverpool player couldn't quite find Jess Husband. It's not quite dead and buried for Scotland yet though. May English picks up. Orla Byrne offers, or Lily Boyce still has it. Fraser asks Husband to charge, and she will. She always will. Not quite coming off that time for Jess Husband. Without her twin this time, Joelle, no Erin Husband in the side. She was playing for Hearts at the weekend there. What's your sort of take on these opportunities? We're speaking about how important it is for these young players to have that international experience at this stage. Erin Husband, a player who has a bundle of caps at this stage, 15 caps I believe. Jess Husband not too far behind her. I think she actually might overpass her sister now. do you think that it's more beneficial that she plays at the weekend for her club, or that she should be coming away with a camp like this?
Yeah, I think it's difficult, Amy, because ultimately Erin will want to be playing at the top end of the domestic game, and of course she's doing that. There's been a few injuries in that centre-back position at Hearts through Georgia Hunter and Carly Gerisoli, but I think you can't take anything away from Erin. I think her quality, regardless of those injuries, would have got her the opportunities regardless. So I think she's essentially a victim of her own success. She'll be devastated to be missing out today and getting another cap with her national team, but essentially she's playing week in, week out, doesn't look out of place at Hearts, and is doing fantastically well for someone still so young.
I know your club allegiances may suggest otherwise, but it is fantastic to see the continual presence of both husband twins in that Hearts first team, isn't it, Joelle? For the game in Scotland for SWNT, it's they are very much not just in there, you know, to make up the numbers, to be squad players. They clearly, as in Erin Cuthbert and Erin Husband's case, key players for Eva Olive's side as Iceland on a corner here.
Yeah, absolutely. Both players are a credit to their family and a credit to Hearts, because, like you said, they're not just in there to make up the numbers. I think Erin started in the recent derby, and her sister Jess came on. So I think between both of them, they've probably got 13 first-team appearances this season. So yeah, it's fantastic to see. Great for them as individuals, great for Hearts, but essentially great for the national team, because I've got no doubt that in years to come they will be in the A squad.
First corner kick for Iceland. 24 minutes on the clock. Not to go short. Is worked in again by Ingadottir, and it's off the bar at the back post. A little bit of a shaky moment for Scotland, and it is out for yet another corner. An inviting ball from Ingadottir, and she will trot out and take this second corner for Iceland.
Yeah, I think you could see Sienna McGoldrick probably overcommitted when the ball came short. She's easily bypassed, and then Iceland using that aerial threat, but thankfully a Scotland player getting something on it and turning it over the bar.
Ingadottir once more again into the mix, in a good position. The English will sweep this one away. Not as far as she'd like, mind you. And it is Iceland's captain, Sig Thorisson, who wins yet another free kick. A decent wee period here for Iceland as a yellow card is flashed. Could be Lily Boyce down there who's on the receiving end of it.
Yeah, I think it was Lily Boyce, and I think for me Scotland need to try and avoid giving away free kicks, silly free kicks in areas like this, as I said moments earlier, because of that aerial threat that Iceland possess.
Thorisson to take. Referee just having a little word in that Scotland defensive box. Another well drilled in ball, and again that came off the head, I think, of Sienna McGoldrick, or it could be Dara Dawson at the back post. No matter what, Scotland head has headed it out for another corner. As I say, a fine flurry of chances for Iceland here, grown into the game. 27 minutes nearly on the clock. Ingadottir again. Once more a great delivery at that back post, and just off target from Barbosa, but Scotland will be most pleased, Joelle, to come out of that little period of time unscathed.
Yeah, they'll be happy. I think probably created a lot of the opportunities there for Iceland by poor play, poor decision making, but I think, like I said, we need to try and avoid giving away free kicks in and around the box, because because of the height, but also because of the delivery. You saw there some fantastically executed corners and a free kick there that we need to try and avoid giving away too cheaply.
Palmadottar. Thorothan in the midfield picks up, but Lily Boyce snatches back possession, tries to unleash McDonald. It will eventually fall for her. Amy Sharkey timing her run very well, just not quite able to find a teammate. Works its way back to Jess Husband. You can see her ambition charging for the byline, gets across, and then just gets her angles, her power all a little bit wrong there. 28 minutes played, Scotland 1, Iceland 0.
I think we just need to try and regain control of the game, Amy. Michael McArdle's shout a few moments ago, be patient, be progressive in the possession, because ultimately by not doing that, we're allowing Iceland a foothold into this game, and with doing that, you breed confidence.
Inventive from Iceland. Dara Dawson takes command. Johannesdottir trying to get a little flick on there. Dawson once more comes away with it. Tries to find the run of Niamh McDonald, but it's intercepted by Ingadottir. Can she find Johannesdottir? Husband there to take care of it. Able to keep it in there despite the cries of Husband. Johannesdottir once again in on the act, but Scotland cleared, and Sharkey once more being asked to do an awful lot, leading the line. Just about comes off for her. Byrne gets to that first. English can't quite though. Palmadottir on the spin. Between McGoldrick and Byrne, they do well. Sharkey once more offering. Nice footwork there. 15 minutes off this first half left. Scotland 1, Iceland 0, and that will be the message though, Joelle, that from that first goal Scotland haven't quite managed to show too much dominance in this game. It's been a little bit itty-bitty.
Yeah, it has. They started really well, started really strong and fast, but as the halves wore on, they've gotten a bit scrappy, which has allowed Iceland a foothold back into the game, and at the moment the momentum, I would say, is in Iceland's favour. So we just need to control the tempo and get back to those early performance levels that we know this squad are capable of.
Stringing passes together like this will certainly do that. Dawson now. Fraser goes long, and Ingadottir gets it wrong, allows McDonald to pick up. McDonald now shows what she's got, wins a corner. And we can't quite see, but I think there'll be a few smiles on the Scotland bench at that, Joelle.
Yeah, I think so. I think that whole play, I think the distribution from Kate Fraser at the back was really, really good. Identified McDonald being on the shoulder, and the pace that she possesses will get by any fullback. So yeah, I think it relieves the pressure and gives us an opportunity to put the ball back in Iceland's box.
Husband. And the pack unleash, and it was aimed for Kate Fraser. Works its way. May English at the back post. Goes for the near post. Perhaps that ball should have went back across the face of goal, Joelle.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, if May English could have that ball back, I think she would. The output would be definitely different, whether it's across the face shot or back across the box for one of her teammates, because it was an extremely congested, tight angle that she was trying to nestle the ball into.
English picks up from Palmadottir. Can't quite find a teammate. But Scotland once again pressing high on that Iceland backline. Ingadottir under pressure. Jess Husband picks up. Does incredibly well, Jess Husband. Perhaps just one step too many, but fantastic tenacity. Iceland though managing to come out pretty well themselves. Voice battles. He's back. The Breland Galton goal, the Chicago Inter star. Another time. Does manage to keep it in play. English comes and picks up. Back to Fraser. Once more. Looking for that run of McDonald. Not quite the distribution this time from Kate Fraser, but she's such a presence at the back, Joelle, and I think many SWPL onlookers will certainly have been impressed by her move and the start she's made to her loan spell at Spartans this season. Yeah, she started today's game very, very well, and another player on loan at a PL1 club in Spartans, I think making 7 appearances so far this season, kind of stabilising and ever present in that starting 11, and again similar to the Husbands, doesn't look out of place at the top end of the game in Scotland. Nemanja Vidic is her idol. She'd do alright if she has a career like him.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's just another name for Joelle Murray, to be honest. So. Scotland come away with it. Sophie Black manages to find Amy Sharkey once more and comes up against the wall. Oh, Ingadottir. The ball just went out on that far side. It's so tight over there.
Yeah, it's very tight, and I think you can see Amy Sharkey trying to drop a little bit deeper to try and get in on the play, get in on the ball, because the last kind of from mid to where we are currently in this game, she's often found herself in that isolated striker position. Sort
of the way that Palmadottir has found space at this back post, marched by Orla Byrne now, and does Breland Galt get a hand on that? She doesn't. And it is a goal kick. That one just sort of came in a lapse of concentration. Thankfully Orla Byrne was on hand to eventually find Palmadottir, but a little bit slow at the back from Scotland there.
Yeah, I think Orla Byrne's been very good. You can see she's eager to get forward, as most fullbacks are in the modern day game, but at the end of the day, you're a defender, and first and foremost, make sure that your defensive duties are at the forefront of your mind. And I think, albeit Galt didn't get a touch there, Amy, I think she had the shot covered, but I think we need to try and limit those situations and shots as much as possible.
Black picks a pocket of space. Unleashes Husband. Once more Ingadottir on hand to halt. Husband into black. Dances her way out of that well. Boyce now. Goldrick to Byrne. Palmadotter. Good little tussle down there between those two, Thelma Palmadotter and Orla Byrne. Boyce tightly marked there, comes out of it well. McDonald into black. Peels away. McDonald has the time and the space to pick out. Who can she find? A teammate? No one. Right into the hands of Arnaudottir. It was a slick move down that right hand side, Joelle, and perhaps Niamh McDonald should have done a little bit better in finding a teammate there. She had the time and the space. Yeah,
I think so. I think she probably didn't realise that she had more space and time than she did. Sophie Black potentially centred too deep and the ball towards the byline, but yeah, definitely a situation that we should have got a better outcome from.
Much more positive breakaway. Just over 5 minutes remaining off this first half. Scotland 1, Iceland 0. Just as McColdrick is dispossessed there and gives away a foul. Thoresen sends in. Cleared well by Scotland. Husband eyes up her options. Black down the line. Does she show too much? Just a little bit too much. Perhaps a little bit of a frustrating half for Sophie Black, who's just went on loan to Motherwell actually from Rangers. Joelle, she is such a talented player. She's maybe not seen too much action in this first 41 minutes or so.
Yeah, she'll probably be frustrated is probably the word, and feeling that she will have at the moment. Amy, I think she's definitely a very good player, a player that's composed on the ball, a player that was of course part of the Rangers squad that went down to play Arsenal, so they trust in her abilities, and you've seen glimpses of that today, but probably hasn't had enough of the ball to truly show what she's fully capable of.
Palmadotter wins the corner. Daughter taking her time down here. Johannesdottir is nearby on hand. He does go short to Johannesdottir. Daughter gets it back, eventually gets the ball into the box. Not quite coming off for Iceland just yet. Good work there by Lily Boyce. She has to be applauded there for her her bravery.
Yeah, she drew the foul and relieved that pressure for Scotland. Going back to the corner a few moments ago, strange decision for Iceland not to put that into the box given their aerial capabilities, but yeah, Scotland done well to relieve the pressure in that situation.
Not the kindest of passes there from Galton to Byrne. As I mentioned, with these blustery conditions, it's certainly not easy. Breaks away for Sharkey though, and Scotland come now through Niamh MacDonald. Asking a little bit too much of Jess Husband. No, she's not. She gets there. Who am I to doubt? Jess Husband gets her ball in, and it will be out for a corner. I'm shattered just watching her, Joelle.
Yeah, she's done well there, because I was the same as you, Amy. I didn't think she was getting on the end of that. I think she was sold short, but she'd done well to get the ball and herself ahead of the opposition and win her team another corner.
The dying embers of this first half. Can Scotland double their lead? It would be a fantastic time to score. Husband fires one into the mixer again, and Arnaudotter does get a strong hand to it. Dangerous delivery. Byrne thinks about the quick throw. Gains a few more yards. And again.
Additional play.
45 is up, 1 minute additional time here. Scotland 1, Iceland 0. Seems Scotland quite happy just to eat up this final minute, gain a few yards through Orla Byrne. Lily Boyce though can't quite keep that one in the corner. Picked up again by May English, and she's on the charge now. English on the turn. Johannesdottir backs into Dawson, and do Iceland fancy one last attack of the half? Husband sweeps up well and just shepherds out Arnaudotter, and there is half time. A strong start from Scotland, rewarded in the 7th minute by May English. Great work from both flanks really. Niamh MacDonald coming off the bar with her effort, and English on hand to tap in at the back post. From there though, Scotland didn't quite assert the dominance they perhaps would have liked, would have wanted to allow Iceland back into this game, growing in confidence, but crucially not back on the score sheet. It is Scotland 1, Iceland 0. We will be back in 15 minutes for the second half of this Group A4 encounter. to Broadwood for the second half of Scotland against Iceland in this 2025 UEFA European Women's Under-17s Championship qualifying round 1 match. Scotland 1, Iceland 0. Matt May, English goal 7 minutes in. No changes at the break for either side, it appears. And Iceland do get us underway. Joining me here on commentary, former Scotland international Joelle Murray. Joelle, what will have been the message at half-time from Michael McArdle, Nicola Gregg, Leanne Crichton in that Scotland camp?
I think probably an easy one, Amy. Get back to those early performance levels that the girls showed in the kind of first half of the first half, because, as I said earlier, we know what they're capable of doing, and I think just being a bit more composed on the ball, making the right decisions, and knowing that if we can't go forward, can we come back to go out the other side and essentially just retain the ball.
Husband here with the ball in hand. Not quite what Arna's daughter was wanting there. Comes back to husband. There's a ball into the box, and it's a decent catch actually from Arna's daughter. It's not! The spill. McColdrick onto the bar. What an opportunity for Scotland. A rare error at the back from Iceland. Arna daughter with the spill there, and Sienna McColdrick perhaps just couldn't quite appreciate her luck, and it cannons off the crossbar. But what a chance, Joelle.
Yeah, that was a big chance, Amy. Lovely work between husband and McDonald on this right hand side, creating the space to get to the byline, and a bit of luck, the goalkeeper and the defender kind of colliding, getting in each other's way. And I think you're right, I don't think McGoldrick expected the ball to fall at her feet the way it did, and I think a combination of that and poor technique. She looked like she was leaning back a bit, which meant the ball trajectory went upwards. But yeah, an unforgivable miss there.
Hannah's daughter wrestling away there. Schalke just slightly on her heels, rear. And now Iceland do come clear. Arna's daughter, McColdrick, fighting away. Johanna's daughter. Playing out to Palma daughter. Back into the box. A little bit of a collision in there. Bjorn's daughter. With the quiet appeal, and Iceland growing into the second half after that glorious early chance for Sienna McColdrick. Arna's daughter pass picked up by McColdrick, but once again Iceland regain possession. Scotland press still present. Christian's daughter out to Inga daughter. And a free kick for Iceland in the middle of the park. Guradottir. Ball whipped in. A little bit of pinball in the box. Guradottir was charging onto it, but can't quite get a shot away, and it's worked out once more for an Iceland throw on the far side. Rare occurrence, Joelle, a foul throw?
Rare, yeah, rare that it's been called out. I've seen a few over the last
exactly,
few weeks.
exactly. A rare one called.
But yeah, it just relieves the pressure once again for Scotland, and like we spoke about, they need to really get their foot on the ball, regain the composure, which will ultimately bring that confidence that they showed in abundance at the start of this match.
Sophie Black drawing the foul, just allowing Scotland to regain their shape. Fraser back to Galt. Goldrick asking just a little bit too much of Byrne. Little pause as Lacey's were getting tied there. And it's like Thoresen not quite keeping that one under her control. Boyce allows the bounce. The English will chase, show off her pace. Well dealt with by Palmadottir. Iceland get a little break of the ball. And a little previous incident there. Iceland players still down on the deck feeling the effects. And a little stoppage after a bright start from both Joelle in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a really good start, like you said, for both teams in the second half, Amy. It's been end to end. I think Scotland need to get that second goal because we can see that Iceland are very, very capable on the ball in the attacking third. So I think that second goal will ease the nerves and just allow us to play with a bit more composure and confidence.
Whizzed into Fraser. Johannesdottir was on the charge. Forces a quick getaway into Sharkey. Doesn't quite come off. Sophie Black very unhappy with the referee's decision there. Free kick to Iceland. Once again, cute work from Amy Sharkey, just delaying the free kick there. Perhaps catching Iceland off their stride a little. Byrne keeps in. And there's a foul and a free kick once more to Iceland. Just little moments like that, Joelle. I've seen it a few times. Orla Byrne gaining a few yards. That instant earlier with the blood on her shirt, and our teammates asking her to stay on the pitch. And again, Amy Sharkey there. It's cute and clever play from Scotland, isn't it? Even despite their young age, they're very streetwise. Very
streetwise, very switched on. You often don't even see that at the top level, the top end of the game. So it's great to see that they've got that intelligence, that football intelligence, to know when to slow the game down and speed it up in their favour.
Dispossessed there, Sienna McColldrick in Iceland. Attempts to counter, but it's well swept up. Sophie Black, Johannesdottir trying to keep it alive for Scotland. For Iceland rather than Scotland. Do indeed once more come away unscathed. Just out of picture there. That's not Leanne Crichton having a go at the officials, Joelle.
Well, she's got previous anyway, we both know that. Yeah, quiet word in the officials' ear. Standard Leanne Crichton. Again, we're talking about players' intelligence. She's got that in abundance. She's played the game for numerous years. She knows what to say, what not to say, and kind of toes the line accordingly.
Very much making her strides into her coaching career, both here and at Motherwell. Did you see those coaching attributes in her playing days at her, Joelle?
Yeah, she was always a born leader, a natural leader. Always was a player who wanted to push boundaries, and you could see from an early stage that she had an eye for the coaching side of the game. I was on my B licence with her. I think she's currently now on her UEFA Pro licence, and she's done fantastically at national team level, but also at domestic level with Paul Brownlee at Motherwell.
Daughter. Back to Oscar's daughter. McDonald now picks up for Scotland, and husband Ned's on hand to support. Brushes by Johannesdottir really, and Sophie Black with the opportunity to go to the byline, cuts inside, still has it, uses Niamh McDonald, no offside, it's up, and the offside flag stays down, and Niamh McDonald fires in Scotland's second. A little bit of confusion in the Icelandic back line, no doubt, but McDonald stayed assured and once more played to the whistle and trickles her shot underneath Anna Arnardóttir, and Scotland have that well sought after second. Scotland 2, Iceland 0, Joelle.
Yeah, it was really good from Scotland down this right hand side. Found himself with an overload due to the progression up the pitch, mainly from Jess Husband. When your fullback does that, you often ask your wide midfielder or wide attacker to come inside into that inside pocket, and Niamh McDonald done that fantastically well. Found herself in acres of space, not picked out, not marked, and done well to swivel on the ball and put the ball into the back of the net.
Crucial second for Scotland score by Niamh McDonald. Applies the trade down at Liverpool just as Iceland threatened for a quick fire response. It's not forthcoming though. Boyce regains composure and possession and sprays it to Dawson, and down on that far side it is indeed Dawson who just over keenly fires that one out. But the Scotland coaching staff back up on their feet. And back up on their feet once more as Niamh McDonald tries to pick out Amy Sharkey. Palmadottir once more powers through. The referee has seen something on that far side involving Palmadottir. It will be a throw Oh, it will be a free kick. Two balls on the pitch. Anna's now. Iceland attempt to claw their way back into this game. Goal in the first half from English, goal in the second half from McDonald. They do have a corner here though, Iceland. And it will allow for the first substitution of the game. Barton is Bjorn's daughter for Iceland, and coming on Rebecca Brinjar's daughter. Corner right. On top of goal, punches away strongly. And that will do her confidence world of good. And the daughter trots all the way over to take this long throw. She's teeing up. There's daughter back out to Inga daughter. A little bit of a mismatch at the back. Once more, Scotland come away unharmed. And it'll just be about regaining that composure after that second goal. Joelle, Scotland didn't quite manage to do that after the first goal, did they, in that first half?
No, they didn't. I think they got their goal, and for moments after that, probably up until the half of the half, they had a lot of success, but weren't able to get to the performance levels thereafter. So I think now that they've got the second, they'll look to really try and put that pressure on the Iceland team and go for more goals, whilst also trying to obviously not concede at the other end.
Just as they did there, Arnie Daughter commandily coming out to shut that one out, but Niamh MacDonald is driving down yet again. A nod of the head there from Joelle Murray. You've been impressed by the young Liverpool player?
Yeah, I have indeed. First time I've saw Niamh MacDonald play, but her pace, her direct nature, she almost reminds me of a young Lisa Evans, who was similar at that age, would just run for 90 minutes, go
she still does.
touchline to touchline. She still does, yeah, and credit to Lisa for making a career out of having such great physical capacity. So yeah, I've been impressed. Nailing number 3. Been impressed, Amy, by Niamh MacDonald.
Absolutely, and it was again an error at the back from Iceland, and it's not quite what we expected. Such a physically commanding side, particularly at the back, not quite dealt with the set pieces as well as we expected them to. And again, between Arna Daughter and her defenders, it was a little bit of a mismatch. Scotland do get a shot away, but bodies were back to block. And again, I think more than anything, Joelle, from here it just seemed Amy Sharkey and the likes just were caught out by surprise.
Yeah, I think we've been surprised by the hesitation and the indecision in the Iceland box when corners and deliveries from wide have come into the area. It almost looks like there's no communication between keeper and outfield players, and like earlier with McGoldrick, I think Amy Sharkey was very, very shocked to see the ball land in and around her area.
She certainly was, and it is time for a first Scotland substitution. Lily Boyce making way, and young Ava Crawford coming on. 15-year-old Hearts player in the middle of the park. Sophie Black once more drawing another foul, another free kick for Scotland. Decent enough position. Just as we approach 65 minutes played here at Broadwood, Scotland 2, Iceland 0. Opening match of Group A4, round 1 qualifying the Under-17s Women's European Championships. Byrne leaves for her husband and it's fired right into Anna Arnardóttir. And with the big players up, Kate Fraser and the likes, who are now doing their best to track back. Fleetingly we've said it today, but not one of Jess Husband's better deliveries, Joelle.
No, it wasn't. I think you can see what she was trying to do. She was trying to drive it across the face, looking for a run off the attacking line. But yeah, I think unlike the majority, if not all of our deliveries from set pieces so far, that wasn't one of our finest.
Goldrick gets the break, works it out to Niamh MacDonald, and again it's good feet from MacDonald. Just doesn't quite get enough behind it for Anna Arnardóttir. It was on the swivel. I think we'll blame the wind for killing the pace out of that one. Certainly picked up here at Broadwood. His husband intercepts him, and another Iceland throw. On the far side once again for Scotland, May English departing. Yet another Hearts player coming on in Izzy Young. Comfortable across the middle of the park out wide as well, Izzy Young. Says her idol is Kevin De Bruyne. Dara Dawson caught late there. Byrne back to Dawson. Momentarily dispossessed, but once again Scotland come away clean. Picks up after Christian's daughter had momentarily won. Iceland the ball back, but Scotland again coming forward, and they opt to take the throw in quick. Ava Crawford attempts to win the corner, but instead it goes out for a throw. A fantastic start here for Scotland in Group A4. They play Northern Ireland on Friday at 11:30. Again here at Broadwood before finishing off their group next week against Poland, who they will be looking to get revenge after results earlier on in the year. 5-1 defeat they suffered. Strong side, the Poles. That'll be next Tuesday at 3 o'clock again here at Broadwood. Free admission, but of course you can watch on the Scotland YouTube channel. MacDonald, first time ball into Husband. Offside flag does stay down for now. Byrne picks up and is out for a Scotland throw. Short to Barbosa. Oh, my daughter. Speed of Secur's daughter, just peeling Iceland away there. Dara Dawson sees that. Out for a goal kick for Breland Galt. Dalton Fraser. On cup, and McDonald again tries to find Amy Sharkey, who stays present and capitalises, and now charges down to the byline. Amy Sharkey, is anyone in the box? A crucial interception from Iceland there. Husband will try to keep alive. Black back to Dawson. Quite getting her angles right there, and Alma daughter feeds into Johannes daughter. Picks up though Black. Recovers well and turns, and now she just tries to find Izzy Young. Can't quite keep it in, but going back to that earlier one there, Joelle, Amy Sharkey remaining alert. It can be a thankless task up there on your own at times, and especially when you're trying to fill a void left by someone like Laura Berry, who was so potent for this Scotland Under-17 side. 21 goals in 20 appearances. We all know how many she's firing in for Motherwell, how many she did for Rangers before she made that loan move as well. But it's been an impressive showing from Amy Sharkey today.
Yeah, it has. She's very sharp, strong, physical. She's got a keen eye for goal, and I think going back to that situation, it just shows you how important it is not to switch off if in the initial phase you don't get success, because a bad pass, an under-hit pass, anything like that can get you right back in the frame. And she done well to stay focused, stay alert, and she kind of got her rewards, albeit from a very good bit of defending from the Iceland defender.
Iceland, who led on an attack there, were crying out for a free kick on Christian's daughter, but instead Scotland break away once more. Amy Sharkey out here just hanging on, waiting for support. Not quite forthcoming early enough for her though, and she loses possession, but it's picked up once more by Sophie Black. There's an Iceland substitution in there. Vitalia's daughter is on up front, number 18 there. Up in support for Brynjara's daughter. Brynjara's daughter into Matthias' daughter. Turns well and finds Palma daughter. And the daughter now brushes by Eve McDonald. slack there though. Scotland can't quite pick up. And Iceland continue to build. Hands up there from Orla Byrne. No offside flag coming, and Palmadottir on that far side is eventually snatched away by Byrne. And she fires it up. Amy Sharkey will be on the chase. She's up against it. Barbosa, the tug of the shirt from Sharkey, draws the foul. But again, Iceland on the attack, and Scotland come away with it well, and once again with a clean sheet.
Yeah, Iceland working the ball well, getting the overload in the wide right area. However, Orla Byrne done well to recover the situation and played a lovely left-footed pass up the line for Amy Sharkey to run onto.
"15 minutes or so left here at Broadwood. Scotland 2, Iceland 0. First half goal from May English, second half goal from Niamh MacDonald. Spoke about it early doors, that pace, that width of Scotland would be crucial. Both wingers getting in on the act. Something which will no doubt please Michael McArdle and his staff. Here is MacDonald. Eases by Palmadottir. Husband does incredibly well, still has it. Just shrugs by Palmadottir. Really rather toying, and now cuts inside. Perhaps just one too far, comes up against Oscarsdottir. Fraser will regain possession. Black up against Ingadottir. Really confident stuff from Scotland here. This is the sort of stuff we spoke about in that first half, Joelle, that this side are that year older now. They've got that experience. There are many more of them getting more experience in their club level as well. And saying that, commentator's curse just as Iceland break away, but it will be picked up by Sophie Black, who's one of those players. She leads this charge. Is a young on that far side substitute. Works it out wide. Uses the support of Byrne. You think was caught there, but nothing forthcoming. But yes, the way that Scotland are now managing this game and just slowing it down, but passing the ball about well. You're looking at Husband and Fraser, the vocal, the experienced players, Byrne as well. This is an experienced young side, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see the composure. We're seeing better decisions on the ball, off the ball. We spoke about making the pitch big, so in possession, can we be expansive? And we're seeing that from our wide players, which creates that inside channel for our fullbacks and Byrne and Husband to support the attack inside. So yeah, the football intelligence within this squad is evident to see. The quality's there, and I'm really excited to see out the remainder of this game, but see what can happen in the next two remaining group games.
Very exciting time indeed, and as Joelle is alluding to, it's Northern Ireland on Friday before Poland on Tuesday, all here at Broadwood. It's Niamh MacDonald creatively brings that one down at the expense of Ingadottir, and Sharkey on the spin. Back to MacDonald. She still has it just about. It's just pinched away. Palmadottir's final pass there. Not quite coming off for Altaire's daughter. That's really been the story of Iceland's attacking phase. It's just fallen away at the final hurdle. You know, Scotland have been clinical in the moments that it matters. And in saying that, Joelle, they actually probably should have been even further ahead.
Yeah, probably. Two other opportunities, clear-cut opportunities, Amy, that we should have saw the ball nestling in the back of the net, but essentially we've got our 2 goals, we keep a clean sheet, we win the game, so that needs to be the objective from now until the final whistle.
Sharkey. Well watched out there by Palmadottir. Ball eventually works its way into the box. Picked up by Niamh MacDonald at the back post. She thinks about winning the corner, instead just keeps the ball. McGoldrick thinks she has time to turn. Crawford on hand. Push it back to Dawson. See, for the final 8 minutes or so, Scotland are looking at their bench, as are Iceland. A few players readied on that far side. Fraser again with that long ball, searching for Sharkey. Oscar's daughter comes away with it. Diana's daughter feeling the effects of one here. Another Iceland player down in the middle of the pitch as well. It's all about Scotland on that far side. Izzy Young. Bundles of energy since coming off the bench. Husband back to goal. One's straight out of play, and will allow a little bit of time for these substitutions to be made. It will be Iceland first. Johanna's daughter departs, coming on to replace her Snorra daughter. Scotland's substitutions will hold on for now. Sharkey once again using her strength, powering through, winning a throw-in for Scotland. She's really shown in that central forward role. I think there's a little issue on the far side with these Scotland substitutions. I think there's an issue with the board, perhaps, fourth officials board. Play continues. Crawford, pass cut out. Tries to win it back though. Iceland do come away. Palmadottir switch sides. Daughter again. Zarna daughter's slack pass. And these Scotland substitutions will be made. Sienna McGoldrick, the first to depart, coming on in her place. Key decisions in. Fantastic story. Buying a trade up at Ross County. And Amy Sharkey also coming off after a tireless afternoon, replacing her. Dara Osatulu. Osatulu scored on her under-16 debut around this time last year against Republic of Ireland. Doesn't have too much time to do it. Her under-17s debut. But nonetheless, Scotland are heading for victory, though Iceland coming forward here. Down in the box. Black on hand once more to help sweep up. Again at the stage, Joel, with the scoreline as is, it'll really please Michael McArdle and his staff to allow that 4 substitutions now, allowing players some game time in. Osatulu as well, as she shows for the first time, is she able to keep it in on that far side? She is. As well shepherded out by Iceland, but Michael McArdle really been able to use his squad even in this first game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's key and crucial in any kind of tournament football, group phase football. Keen to spread the minutes across the squad, keep key players as fresh as possible, and you can see, like you said, in the 4 substitutions been made so far, that he has belief, faith in the quality within his whole squad, not just the starting 11.
Osatulu comes away with it. Unable to tuck out a teammate though, and Daughter has it in her grasp once more as the clock is ticking down. Fraser keeps that under control well, and along with husband sweeps away any Icelandic danger, and just about breaks for Sissonen, and now Osatulu is a young on hand as well, will pick up. Byrne still at this late stage, bombing forward. Crawford not quite got the time there, and is dispossessed, and Iceland break away. Not quite the pace in their ranks to cause too many troubles, and Fraser is always winning that 50-50. In fact, it was probably more a 70-30, wasn't it, Joelle?
Yeah, fully committed Kate Fraser there. She only had eyes on the ball, and she done fantastically well.
Dawson trickles that one up the line. It will just trickle out instead. It's not Orla Byrne this time, but instead appears as a young, has a little bit of trouble on that far side. Just headed down the tunnel a little bit there, receiving some treatment from Scotland staff. Scotland with 10 players on the park late on, ticking down closer to the 94 minutes of additional time will be added on. Scotland 2, Iceland 0. As Iceland do try to get what you would think now would only be a consolation goal, but in this mini tournament format could be crucial. And with that in mind, Joel, as much as the win and the 3 points will please Michael McArdle, and especially as a defender yourself, that clean sheet will certainly be of a great pleasure to them.
Yeah, definitely. I think being a defender myself, I can certainly relate to the clean sheet. At the end of the day, you always, as a defender, take to the pitch hoping to achieve the clean sheet, and in doing so, hoping that your forward, your attacking, your creative players can score at the opposite end. So if it stays the same, I think Michael and the team, especially the defenders, will be delighted with the clean sheet.
Palmadottar just overcooks that one, and as we are into additional time now, Joel, I did ask you at the top of the game how important it would be to get off to a winning start for Scotland. It does appear that they are going to do that, but the manner in which they've done it, we've seen the width utilised well, and the way that they've managed to combat what is a tricky opponent. As you say, Iceland always going to have that strength, always going to have that height as well. Scotland have coped rather well with it.
They have. I've been very impressed with the team today, Amy. They've managed adverse situations very, very well. They've been on top for the majority of the 90 minutes, but there has been peaks and troughs, and they have adapted to those situations extremely well. So yeah, I've been impressed by individuals, but ultimately by the team as a collective. So they can all be very, very proud of their performances today.
Fantastic way to kick off Group A4. This qualifying round one. Iceland still showing a threat late on. Ingardottir. Now blocked by Eve McDonald. Foul is drawn. Perhaps one last chance for Iceland to send the ball into the mixer and challenge the Scotland back line and Braylon Galt in goal. Captain to fire in. Deep once more, and Galt, and it's off the post. Scotland survive late on. One of the better deliveries that Iceland have thrown into the mixer deep into stoppage time. The woodwork is well and truly come into play today for both, as McDonald feeds into Osatulu. Black now. No foul forthcoming, and Palmadottar comes away with it. Husband will get there before Ingardottir. His husband charges away, or tries to charge away, but Ingardottir halts her in her path, and that really was nearly a commentator's curse, Joel, talking about the clean sheet.
Yeah, very, very nearly, but Braylon Galt, what a fantastic save. She was at full stretch to tip that onto the post, so that in itself was impressive, Amy, but equally so the reaction from the Scotland team, because you can almost get yourself caught watching those situations, but they retained their focus, kept on their toes, and ensured that second phase, when the ball came off the post, they were able to clear their lines.
Indeed they were, and the clean sheet does remain, and Scotland secure the first 3 points of Group A4 with a 2-0 win over Iceland. May English in the first half. Niamh McDonald's shot off the post. English on hand to tuck it away at the back post, and then McDonald herself did get on the score sheet in that second half. A composed finish sneaking the ball under Anna Ornadottir, who perhaps is lucky to not have conceded more on a day where Scotland, as Joelle mentioned a few minutes ago, dominated in large parts, other than a perhaps slightly shaky spell in that first period. But they kick off their Group A4 qualifying round 1 match in this UEFA Women's Under-17 European Championships qualifiers, ahead of next summer's finals with a win against Iceland. They'll be back in action on Friday against Northern Ireland and again on Tuesday against Poland. We hope that you will join us then. We hope even more so that you can come along to Broadwood and support the girls. Fantastic performance today, which ends Scotland 2, Iceland 0.